Hi, my name is Dr. Sandhya Ramanujam and I am an entrepreneur. I have three ventures so far. The very first was a dental practice that I started in the United States of America in the city of San Diego called Black Mountain Family Dentistry. I ran that practice for 5 years after starting it from scratch and sold it off for a profit. In 2006, I returned back to India, and at that point, I worked for a large corporate hospital called Fortis. I decided then in 2010 to start once small a dental practice of my own. This practice has been running for the past 5 years under the name of Perfect 32 Dental Care and Implant Center, and by God's grace, I have been doing very, very well. Just last year, I decided that I needed to do more, and that's when my third venture came into place, Sama Wellness Center. Over here, we focus on the holistic well-being with a mind-body integration of a person. Now, these three ventures have been quite a revelation for me in my journey as an entrepreneur. The very first one in the United States, I started after working with large corporations and learning the know-how in the business world of dentistry. After practicing dentistry for others, I finally decided to do it for myself. And I think that is the key three things that any entrepreneur looks for. Number one is to be able to do what you consider your passion for yourself the way you want it. To be able to gain financial freedom. And eventually to give back to society at some level or the other. It was these three things that drove me as well. It is so important for an entrepreneur to be able to establish a personal life and professional life balance. It is much easier to do this as an entrepreneur than it is when you are employed under someone else. It is a challenge as well, because now as an entrepreneur, you are paying bills, you are feeding families, and there's a lot of responsibility on you. So ensure that before you embark on the journey of being an entrepreneur, you do your homework really well. You study your market, you study your target audience, and look at contingencies and prepare for contingencies. Because it is a very well said and well rehearsed and well known aspect of entrepreneurship that the first year, or perhaps even the second, there is always going to be a negative cash flow. And then in the second year, and perhaps at the entrance of the third year, you would break even. The profits actually start rolling in only post third year, more like the fourth year. So just make sure that before you jump into it, you anticipate all of this and keep sufficient capital to be able to last you during these uncertain years. I also studied business management from New York University, and that helps me tremendously. It is extremely important in today's fast evolving world that an entrepreneur constantly updates and upgrades his or her skill in the line of work that they have chosen. As they say, the early bird gets the worm, and those who lag behind have to make do with just leftovers. So make sure that you are constantly at it. Keep yourself abreast with the latest developments in your field. A person who is well trained, a person who is well aware, is always someone who will enjoy the entrepreneurial journey. Financially, make sure you're secure, because for you to be able to enjoy this journey, you do not need the added stress of where is the next penny going to come from. So ensure that you have at least 6 months of capital ready and kept in the bank. No one wants that to happen, but God forbid if it does happen. And it does, because there are seasonal dips. There are times when things won't go well. And you will know to expect all of this as an entrepreneur. So God forbid something like this does happen. We wouldn't want you to throw in the towel and say, this is not for me. We want you to go in there, face it boldly, but have sufficient stuff to keep the stress off your back. So folks, as I sign off, all I will say is, being an entrepreneur is extremely challenging, is extremely fulfilling, is extremely gratifying. So enjoy the journey. But remember, as anything demands, go in with good preparation, go in with the right attitude, and go in knowing that you are willing to give all it takes to make yourself a huge success. And then just remember one last thing, that you are the master of your fate and the captain of your soul. God bless and enjoy the journey.